Shout out to all the subscribers, everybody that likes, comments and shares. Tip me out off to all of you. Big yourselves up. Oh, mate. Finally slept in my new gaff last night. Geezers fixed the hot water yesterday. Oh, mate. Still everything's everywhere. I mean, I was up to about 2 in the morning just putting my bed together and sorting the TV out. So at the minute, everything is as makeshift as they can. I mean, Dalmatian's cup. Sitting here in my pyjamas. Sorry, I mean, I don't sleep in Armani, even fake Armani. I mean trousers. Refusing ship out. Different reasons. People do it for different reasons. I'll give some examples of why I did it and when I did it. The outcome. Refusing ship out, right? So basically, when you're getting sent to another nick, they'll come in the morning and say, right, Aldred, you're going to High Point. This is just a make-believe situation. And you go, all right. So they'll give you, I don't know, half hour. Might even give you all bloody mornings to tell you you've got to be ready in 20 minutes. But 2-3 hours later, they'll come and get you. But you pack all your gear up, and then you'll be getting shipped out usually, right? If you're getting shipped out, say you start off in the remand jails, the locals, so BCAT locals, Pentonville, Chelmsford, you know, Iredown, Wandsworth, Scrubs, up north, Strangeways, all the remand jails, yeah, BCAT locals. So once you get sentenced, usually you get, depending on your sentence, 4, 5, 6 years or so, you get a CCAT, a BCAT local, a B categorised, so you know, category B prisoners and above, which everyone is while they're on remand, I suppose. When you get sentenced, they'll categorise you, so you could be A, B, C, D. Touch if you're a straight DCAT, and they send you straight to a DCAT low security. I mean, I've said it before. When I turned up at a DCAT, I couldn't believe it. The sweatbox parked up. There was no wall around the prison. Nothing. There was no barbed wire anywhere. The sweatbox parked up, and the screw went, yeah. Walk down that way, like to get my binoculars out to see what he was looking at. And yeah, go on. He was like, what? I can just walk off on there on my own? All right, then see you later. Like, if I weren't in the middle of a field, I'd probably run off. But yeah, so DCAT, CCATs. Most people would be CCATs. I think just as a guess, at guess, CCATs probably the most. Most people will be CCATs in England, be the most spaces for CCATs. I'm just presuming. Yeah, the majority of people I've ever met when they get sentenced usually a CCAT. I mean, if you get over a 10, you're automatically a BCAT. If you get over a 10 years, you can also, like, you'll be an ACAT. Or a BCAT or an ACAT. Sorry, I had a brain freeze there. You can get categorised higher if you're, I don't know, if you're notorious, or they've got, you know, or if you've just, like me, you've just been caught a million times and they think you're more organised than what you are. Yeah. But refusals, that's what they call them. You go down there as a refusal, then. Oh, all right, yeah. Other jails. Yeah, some jails you can get away with it, some jails you can't. I mean, you can get away with it in whatever jail you're in, to be honest with you. I mean, if you go by the thing of, oh, if I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it, which is what I used to think quite a lot in there. I'll do it if I want to do it, sort of thing. You're in jail, man. I'm in jail, man. I'll quickly say, this is all my experience, all things that I've seen, just my opinion on things. I'm not an expert in anything, so what do I know? But excuse me, let me just have a slurp in my Dalmatian cup. Right, yeah. I always live. You're in there anyway. Listen, you're in there. I'm not asking for sympathy. Anyone that's what you go, you're a prisoner. But when you're not in there because you want to be in there, yeah. So you've committed a crime. I've committed a crime, but obviously I'm being held against my will. I didn't commit it and go take me away. So I'll do what I want in there. Yeah, if I want to do it, I'll do it. If I don't want to do it, I won't do it. You know, if I want to do the course, which I won't, I won't do it. I never do. But if I want the job or whatever, you know, you go where it's comfortable. It doesn't make your time miserable. It's miserable enough in there. So you try and do things. So I try and do things that I want to do. If I don't want to do it, I won't do it. It's as simple as that. You get a nicking, you lose your TV for a week. I'm still not doing it. Refusals, right. Certain jails just won't have it, and they will try and twist you up and put you on that bus. But then you gotta fight to get off the bus. Yeah. It's never escalated that far for me, so I'll give you my examples. I've given an example for just a geezer I know that they tried to trick him. He was like a CCAT prisoner in like High Point or wherever he was. And he was only doing a 4.5, but he's so out of control. They got him onto a sweatbox and sent him to like the dispersal. Oh mate, I've said the name of it. He went there, and as he's turning up, he realised where he was going, so he started just having a dirty protest on the sweatbox. By the time he got to the dispersal, the screws come out and went, "We don't take people looking like that," and sent him back to the CCAT. So he got what he wanted. That would be a refusal. Right, so I can remember being in Bedford, and I've always complained about Bedford. I've never done a video that said Bedford was any good. Out of the worst jails, that's the second or third worst. No, number one would be the Ville. I've done a video about that. I'm sure that Bedford was 2 or 3, right? Didn't change the fact that I refused ship out about 2-3 times, yeah. And it would all boil down to the fact that I was living at the time I was in and out of Nick, obviously. And when I was in jail, spice was everywhere. You know, spice, that synthetic, fake. It's nothing like weed. It's nothing like weed. The nearest thing I can get to spice is sniffing paint or glue, man. You get that instant rush for about 2 minutes and it's gone. But it's so addictive, right? So anyway, Bedford was Keiko with spice. So I was in my element, yeah. I was in my element. I was, yeah, didn't want to go nowhere, right? It was unbelievable. They had massive amounts of it, stuff, power. It was power. Like I was seeing geezers go over left, right, and centre, and have to be hit with this thing when your heart stopped, defibrillator. And I was like, oh, wonder where he got that power from. Let me go and hunt that bit down. Not like, oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. Look at all the bodies dropping like flies. I'd be off hunting that down. Yeah. Man down, man down. That's what I used to call it. Man down. The stuff that was really strong, I used to call it man down. You got any of that man down? I've been sentenced. I've been sentenced. So, yeah. So now I've been sentenced. I've been categorised as a CCAT. I think I had a couple of different sentences. I got sentenced to a 3.5. Then I got sentenced to a 2. I think I was doing altogether like 5.5, yeah. But like with 2 different sentences. So I was a CCAT, right? Come to me in the morning. Oh, dude. Yes. You going? I forgot where they said I was going. I'm just going to keep saying High Point. Yeah, only because I can't remember. High Point's a CCAT. Says could have been anywhere. I don't know. Blunderston. It could have been anywhere. Yeah, it could have been anywhere. I can't remember. Right. All I know is I was asleep in the morning. I was banged up with my Cody at the time. Right. We was both bang on the spice. Yeah. Like, oh, dude, you going to High Point? Get dressed. Get this. Get that. I looked, yeah, and I rolled over, went back to sleep, yeah. When they come, yeah, they bust the door and they go, you get shipped out, and they walk off. Yeah, alright. Once he's gone, I've like sort of rolled back over. I'm away, I'm not going to go back to sleep, am I? I'm like talking to me Cody. He's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't really want to go. Oof. Blah, 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 blah. We went back and forth. I went, right, I'm not going, right? I'm not going. I got down. I got the article out of a razor. Yeah, you melt the razor, take the thing out of it. and I wrapped that up in loads of tissue and plastic and just put it between my bum cheeks. Yeah, I thought if it all escalates to beyond my control, when they go and take me and put me on the chair, the boss chair, you know, it's like you sit on it. It's like an X-ray machine, basically. Yeah, it tells them if you've got something secreted. But when I sit on it doesn't tell you what it is. It's going to go off, and I tell them straight. I've swallowed razors and all that. Yeah, well, I say straight. Wouldn't be straight, would it? It'd be a bit of a lie if I said I swallowed it. But that's what I was going to say, right? Don't do none of this. I'm not advocating to do. I'm just telling you what. And obviously, I didn't really have it. It was there. Yeah, it wasn't in me thing. It was up there. But I wanted to trick him, right? Didn't even get that far. Alright, he's come. I put it back, and I've just got back in bed. I thought that's it. Probably been on it the night before. Going back to sleep now. He's come. Are you coming? I went, no, I'm ill. You're ill? What's the matter with you? I've got diarrhea, right? Don't forget, I've got the thing up there. I didn't mention the thing. You've got diarrhea. Well, you still got to go get up, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not going. Alright, we're going to be back in half hour, we'll see. Alright. 10 minutes later, he comes back. You going yet? I'm in bed. I'm making a point of staying in bed, yeah? Well, no, I'm ill. I'm ill. They're going to come in, and I'm going to be in boxes, and they're going to grab me and take me away in my boxes, yeah? I'm just not having it. I'm not even contemplating packing my gear up or anything. I'm not going. I'm telling you now, this is how easy Bedford was, alright? So it went back and forward all morning, so from like, I don't know, 8 till lunch. Yeah, maybe even a bit beyond after lunch, I don't know, but they just kept coming back. You ready yet? We're going to take you down here in a minute. You've got 10 minutes. And I've never even told them once about the thing I've got secreted, yeah? I just kept telling them I was ill with diarrhea. Well, I'm not going. What do you want me to do? Sit on the sweat box and shit a brick? It's not happening. And, yeah, it just died down. It just petered off throughout the day. They just stopped coming back. I just kept thinking all day long. I'm thinking eventually they're gonna come and grab me. I'm gonna walk out the cell. They're gonna grab me. They're gonna come and take the TV or something. Nothing. I refused. I said I was ill, and they didn't come back. And they just took me off. Like so long. The sweat box is gonna wait for you as well. I mean, it's got a driver on it. A sweat box is the van, the prison van. Only so long they're going to wait, isn't they? And they've all got policies at different places anyway. If you do certain things, that policy is, oh, we won't take it. They have different policies, you know what I mean? We're not going to take him. So eventually the driver just went, and I didn't even get in trouble over it. Refused in Pentonville, a couple of times. One time, again, like the Ville is the worst place. It's depressing. Even driving up to it in the sweatbox and seeing that big old Victoria, it's like, oh mate, it's horrible, right? So, but again, G-wing, the worst wing to be on. They come in the morning. You get shipped out. No, put me down as a refusal. Why? Because I'm ill. I'm going to write it down, but I'm going to be back. Alright. Phil was a bit more strict than Bedford, yeah? So, look, they come back, you're going. I'm telling them I'm ill, yeah? I haven't done the old, I haven't done the trick with the, secreted anything, right? This happened before the Bedford one, right? So I'm ill, I'm not going. You are going. My cellmate, who was a traveller boy, yeah? He's a traveller boy, so I'm presuming he's still around. He's like, mate, I'm telling you now, they're going to come and twist you up, yeah? They're going to come and twist you up and take you and put you on that bus. When he could tell where it's going, I was just ignoring it, yeah? For the same thing as well, I was banging on the text back then, subby. Ville was full of it, I had it cushy, I had it regular, I didn't want to go nowhere else. Nitty, living like a right scummer. And, yeah, no, my cellmate's going to me, they're going to come and take you away, yeah? Cause this is a bit different to Ville. If they don't want people doing that in there, yeah? It's a bit different to Bedford, I should say. So now I'm like, what am I going to do then? Like, I've got up, I've got dressed, still not going. Basically, I barricaded the door, yeah? There's, I've got all the furniture, I just put it in front of the door, and with the bed and all that. And I set it up so it went back, yeah? So basically, if they push the door, they ain't getting in. Like, everything is going all the way back to the back wall, yeah? So it's just like a barricade. Eventually, if push comes to shove, they can open the door the other way, but that's very few and far between that actually happens. Yeah, usually people stand down and do whatever, give up or whatnot before it gets to that far. But anyway, I barricaded the door, blocked the spile. It's not really a hole; it's like ruler shaped, which they open up, and it's got like a bit of plastic plexiglass they look in. You're not allowed to block it, so I licked a bit of tissue, stuck it over, let it drop down. Because they always open that before they open the door. They always open that. If they can't see in the cell, they can't. They're not going to open the thing, are they? Right? The door, I should say. So I barricaded. I put that up. There was a standoff for time. I was there for a good few hours, right into the afternoon, just to be sure that the sweatbox went. And then I took everything off. Took everything off. Took the nick in. I think I went on losses. I don't feel like to stay down the block now, really. I think I just went down the block before the actual nicking. Got, I don't know, a week's losses or whatever, and eventually got put on hold anyway by my boss. Yeah, my boss at Bix put me on hold. I was an assessor. He didn't care. He didn't care how I acted on the wing as long as I worked hard in the gaff. Chelmsford. I'm put on hold at this point, right? Being put on hold, I should quickly explain, it stops you getting shipped out, yeah, and you could get put on a medical hold, which means you've got your own doctor around whatever. You're in Chelmsford, I'm in Chelmsford, so I might have a local doctor in Chelmsford or a specialist that puts me on hold, says you can't ship him all the way to Leeds, he's got to stay here, like, for our continued medical care, blah, blah, blah. So you can get put on a medical hold, which sometimes doesn't cut what screws will come, and just if you go, no, I'm on a medical hold, they go, oh yeah, it doesn't matter, and if you just swallow it, they'll just take you. You've got to stick up for yourself and argue the point, right? I was on a medical hold. I got put on hold just for the job I was doing. I was on F wing, the induction wing. I was inside. I worked on a servery. One of the screws that I was talking to, I went, can't you just put me on hold? I mean, by the time I ended up in Chelmsford, Chelmsford was the place I was going to get released in my head anyway. I mean, I'd done the rounds, I'd been all over, I was like getting, this is when I ended up with that 5.5 I was telling you about. I was in Bedford and near there. So like, really I'd done my whole lot in being on remand anyway, just going there, being on remand there, getting sentenced, being on remand there, getting sentenced. So I had to go to Chelmsford saying I got not guilty on, or charges dropped. Bladed article, yeah. Someone said they see it. It turned out it was a car key that you push, and the thing comes out. So I got off of it. Mate, my mind's totally gone then thinking about that car key situation. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I spoke to a screw. I was like, yeah, can you put me on hold? Blah blah blah. He went, yeah, no problem. They don't want to keep training other people up, is it? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, sweet. Got put on hold. Couple of weeks before I'm getting out, on that wing, I should say, yeah, a lot of people used to get out. There was a couple of geezers on that wing that used to go to the people getting out. If you get out, come back, load up, parcel up for me, come back, do your 28 days. Like, you can get a 28-day recall. Say if you don't go probation, you haven't committed any crime, it's your first offence, but you haven't gone probation, you'll get banged back up for 28 days as a punishment, like 28-day recall. There is other circumstances where you can get longer. But yeah, so like a couple of the boys did it and come back. It's 28 days, get a few grand, allegedly. All alleged, didn't it? Of course, but just talking about things that I've heard. But I wasn't offered nothing like that. Yeah, I wouldn't have done it anyway, right? But the screws started, like the SO on the wing started thinking, oh yeah, he's definitely like, because I never used to hide. I used to just walk back off my nut all day. Yeah, I was doing my job, but I used to walk back off my nut. Never used to hide it. That's what I was saying about doing my own thing. Imagine walking, trying to hide, being a grown man, trying to hide your red eyes from another grown man. Like, you know what I mean? Come on. So, have a bit of self-respect about yourself. So, the SO's come to me, he's gone, you're getting shipped out. Because he was worried about me coming back in between. I was like, no, I ain't. I'm on hold. And, no, you're going to lose your job, this, that. I had everything cushy, right? I mean, I'm not going. Anyway, I've called the other geezer, the one that was that put me on hold, right? He's not an SO, so the SO's got more power in him, yeah? Senior officer, SO, usually in charge of the wing and all that. He's gone, no, just refuse, and then I'll sort it out the next day. This is the geezer that told me to, he's put me on hold, and this is a screw telling me to refuse, yeah? He's going, yeah, just refuse, and I'll sort it out the next day. All right, sweet. So I've refused all day long. Just said I'm ill. I can't remember the exact excuses I was coming out with. I'm ill. I might have said it's secreted, whatever. I can't even remember, but it was one of them ones. I'm just refusing all day long. Yeah. I lost my job. The SO come, took the job off me, took the TV off me, and tried to kick me off the wing. Yeah. And I just refused. I just said I'm not going. Like, why aren't you going? Because I'm high risk, right? Single cell. Like, I'm not allowed to cell, mate, yeah? All the single cells were on F3. They can put you in a double on C wing, yeah? But they can't put no one else in it. So the way they're looking at it is they're losing a bunk bed. So they have to keep me in a single, right? And he kept, no, you're not. And he's just trying to turf me off, trying to mug me off, trying to put me in a double on another wing. I mean, I'm high risk, man. You can't do nothing. You might be able to do all this about the refusal to ship out, but I'm high risk. This is the wing I stay on because I'm high risk. So there's nothing you could do, yeah? And now I'm on the screw that's told me to refuse for like a full-on week. I'm like from behind the door, because I'm not allowed out, I'm on basic and everything. I'm like, what's going on here? This is a joke. You told me to refuse. I asked you to put me on hold, and you told me to refuse. And he kept trying to pass the buck. He's like, oh yeah, there's nothing I can do, yeah? I was like, dog, this is why people don't like screws, because he told me, he gave me his word about saying, and I've got no reason to lie now. He told me to refuse. He said, oh yeah, we don't want you to go, yeah, blah, 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 refuse. And then he tried to wash his hands of it and just tried to deny it because the SO had a go at him, right? Had no conviction about it. Didn't back himself up at all. The only reason I got back on the job was because all the other survey boys, insiders, cleaners, there was a few other boys that are high risk that ended up with a job that I did as well, because they're high risk. They're not allowed to sell, so just give them a job on the wing. They're not allowed double, so just give them a sell on the wing. You know, make their time productive. So they've all got on the case to all the other screws. Said, well, this is a joke, like, because they know exactly what's happening. They're going like, and they're grassing the screw up. Like, he's told him to refuse, blah blah blah. So like now he's asking the screw, like, is this what you've told him? He's like, yeah, head down and all that. Like, took about a week and a half, 2 weeks even, but I got my job back. But it just shows like screws. I've said it before. Screws are untrustworthy, aren't they? Let's have it straight. I mean, even the good ones. When someone hits the alarm bell, they'll come running. Even the good ones. The good ones don't stand there and go, "Well, I like him. I'm not getting involved." They don't do that. Bang! Oh, quick, grab him! And they'll just say sorry a week later and go, "Oh, well, I had to do it. I had to do it." Anyway, if you enjoyed that, hit subscribe and we'll chat again. Adios. Oh yeah, and I'm doing the news later. Adios.